What's up, guys and girls? Hope y'all are doing well. I recently did a video about heavyweights and how it's a little different being a heavyweight and what they go through and how it can be easier for them and everything. And I got someone asked me to make a video about what it's like and what you should do being a smaller fighter, fighting at lower weight classes like 135, or if you're a girl, maybe 125 or 145. And how they would gear their fighting style or training camp different than someone who's heavier, right? So I would say with the smaller guys, here's the thing with the smaller guys. The smaller guys are almost always more technical because their game isn't dependent on power like a heavyweight or a 205er or even a 185 pounder. The lighter the weight class, the less knockout power a lot of them have because they just don't have the body mass and the weight behind them. So they become very, very technical. And most guys at gyms that are smaller usually are the more technical. And they have to be like that because to compete against the other guys in the room that are bigger. If you're a 135-pound fighter and your sparring partners are different weight classes and maybe you spar a 185-pounder, well, they shouldn't be going super hard on you if they're that much bigger than you, but they're going to go a little bit hard and you need to be able to compete with that, and you're not going to do that with power. So that's why the smaller guys tend to be more technical, right? And also, if you're fighting in lighter weight class, you better have good conditioning, like period. It's a must. Lighter weight guys throw a lot of volume, and you have to be able to match that volume, or you have to be able to deal with that volume. So you better be in really good conditioning. So conditioning is a must. Being a smaller guy, you have to train honestly harder than the bigger guys. You have to, because you have to be in tip-top shape to compete against guys that can constantly, if you're fighting a wrestler, they probably can shoot over and over and over on you. If you're fighting a striker, they're going to throw lots of volume. Boxing, kickboxing, whatever their style is, they're probably going to throw a lot of strikes and a lot of volume. So to deal with that, you need to make sure you're always in phenomenal shape before fights. So being a little smaller, you need to focus a lot on the technique. You need to make sure when your coach is giving you a technique, you need to pay super attention to it, and you need to make sure you're technically very superior, than a lot of the other guys in the gym, to be honest with you. Like, you can't be a 135 pounder and have shit technique and go very far. It's very unlikely. You can be a heavyweight and have mediocre technique and go far, especially if you have big power. It's just a little different. So definitely lighter weight guys need to focus extremely on technique and conditioning. Those are two. And realistically, everyone should do that, guys. Everyone should focus on technique and conditioning and being in shape and doing the reps. But definitely lighter weight guys, you need to focus when you're grappling. You need to focus on scrambling. There's a lot of scrambling involved. If you watch a lot of heavyweights fight, they end up on the ground and then the guys are stuck on the bottom, or they go to turtle and maybe they're able to get up, or they'll stay in a turtle position. They'll stay on bottom, side control. But there's a lot more scrambling involved in the grappling with lighter weight guys. You need to be able to scramble. You need to be able to get up from your back. You need to be able to use the cage to get up. Once again, everybody should know how to do these things, but you really have to focus on this when you're lighter. These guys at the lighter weight classes keep an extreme pace, and it's constantly scramble, scramble, scramble. That's why a lot of the wrestlers do so good in MMA, because they do know how to scramble. Where I think a lot of the lighter weight guys go wrong in grappling is they focus a lot on jiu-jitsu and they're not good at scrambling. Their submissions may be amazing. Their defense on the bottom or on top or whatever may be good. Their defense may be good, but they're not good scramblers. When you're a lighter weight guy for grappling, you have to focus a lot on scrambling. You have to. So I would say defensively, you need to be able to scramble. You need to be able to get back to your feet. You need to be able to get under hooks, come back up if you're on bottom from a grappling standpoint. Offensively, you need to be able to be in condition to shoot multiple times. You need to be able to, if you're a grappler, you need to be able to go for multiple takedowns and have the cardio to do so and the technique. Striking, you need to make sure that you're in condition to throw volume. You're going to have to throw volume, or you're going to have, unless you have, if you're a huge puncher at 135, you don't have to throw as much volume. That's a general rule, guys. The more power you have, the less volume you have to throw. But that doesn't mean you can't throw volume with power. But a lot of guys don't throw as much volume because they know the guys with power, because they know if they land, that they can win like that. But striking, you definitely need to be able to throw volume, and you need to be able to use defense to slow down their volume. Moving, you have to be able to move a lot, or a lot of the lighter weight guys are movers. They move a lot, and they're in and out. They try to land their shots, get in and out. They're not necessarily looking for one big shot because, they might not have the body weight and the power to get that knockout. So it's about being elusive, getting in, getting out. So just a few small things to focus on as a lighter weight fighter. Scrambling on the ground, being very technical on the feet, being elusive in and out, being defensive, and throwing volume. So hope that video answered your question. If you have any other subjects you'd like me to talk about, just leave a comment below, and I'll try to make a video on it. Thank you guys for the support. I really appreciate it. If you're new to martial arts and looking for a gym in your area, get my book, The Ultimate Guide to Choosing Your Martial Arts School and Instructor. The link is in the description below. It'll give you a good guide to find a gym near you. Thank you, guys.